Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another AIESEC Sri Lanka podcast through the eyes of a trendsetter. We're back with a great one today, and actually today's session and today's episode is quite different. So it's about bringing in influencers. It's about bringing in people from different walks of life who have a story and who have something very remarkable to share with you. So throughout the podcast and throughout this entire program, I think the important thing that we've shared about is how different people from different walks of life have demonstrated leadership and how they have been able to carry themselves out throughout the hardships and throughout these different facets of life. And for me, like being a host in this program has always been essentially very important because I get to meet very inspiring people and I get to talk about their journey and ask a few important questions that I think would intrigue all of us here. So today's episode talks about the theme, Let Your Voice Be Heard. And the guest speaker is one person that I've been looking forward to a lot to have a conversation with throughout this program. And she's none other than Miss Bernadine Jayasinghe, who's currently the Managing Director of Institute of Essential Studies, a President Award winner, TV personality, a leading news anchor, entrepreneur, and corporate trainer. Ms. Bernadine, thank you very much for accepting our invitation and for being a part of this program with us.
Thank you very much, Arfan. Thank you for that kind introduction and thank you for having me as well.
Wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll be your moderator, Arfan Nazar, National Director for Incoming Global Talent of AIESEC Sri Lanka. And with that, we're going to move right into the podcast. I don't want to take too much time on the introduction, but I want to get into those good questions. So Bernadine, let's start off the podcast by talking about your childhood and your school life. I want to know because I think for all of my guests that we've brought on so far, we've covered their childhood and we've covered how school has been for them as well. So it would be really nice to know like how your school life was and how was Bernadine as a child. And can you share some of those memorable incidents in your younger self with the audience? I think those are things that people would not essentially know about you, but we would really love to know how childhood was and how was the early school days.
Thank you for that question, Arfan. Yes, I went to St. Richard's Convent, Colombo 7. I would definitely say that school laid a great foundation to my life, from values to qualities to sports to everything I do right now. Childhood, I won't say that my childhood was a very easy journey or a period of time. Anyone who knows me closely knows how challenging it was. Normally, like I think even you said that most of the people know about my childhood. I don't think I have spoken about my childhood at any of the forums actually, because I tend to talk about more about communication and all other areas, but not about my childhood. But because you asked, I would say because my father passed away when I was in grade 3, and it was a complete twist in my whole life because that was something that we never expected, never thought of, never imagined. So my life after grade 3 was a complete different, thing in school. Like even like my mother wanted me to like stop most of the sports I used to do in school, and she used to ask me, to change my whole lifestyle because we have to adapt to it. But then something I always told myself was I used to love sports and I didn't want to change my lifestyle in that way. So I kept doing, I tried my level best to do what I always wanted to do in school as well. So, but with all the challenges I had to face in my childhood, I think who I am today is because of the love, the guidance and the protection I've received from my mother, and especially the self-motivation I had within me. I used to support many people and enjoyed witnessing the growth of others from childhood. And that helped me to grow more with experience. And talking about Bernadine as a child, I would say that I was highly into sports, as I mentioned before, very naughty. And believe it or not, I was shy. Sometimes, it's funny that certain people who were in my classes when I was in school, when I meet them, they just look at me and go like, you talk now? Like those days, there was a time that I didn't talk much. But I would say it's very situational, different periods of time, I was a bit different. Shy, very talkative, very naughty, then again shy, very reserved. So to the world, I would say I'm an extrovert. but in reality, I would say I'm a kind of an introvert as well. So again, during my childhood, I was too confident, and it's a mix of many characteristics, I would say. And I loved exploring, and I always tried to do what my heart said. And the most importantly, something I think I can summarize everything in one story. Maybe that would be when I was. Very small, I think maybe 3 years or so. We went to this particular hotel, and I didn't know how to swim. I don't know how to swim at that. Like I didn't know how to swim at that time, and my mother just wanted to, like, she got me dressed up in my little swimsuit, and she kept me, and she asked me, "Don't move." So she wanted to, pack all the stuff. So when someone says, "Don't move," what comes in my mind, or what plays is my in my mind is like, move, move, move. Right, so I decided to go out, and then I just went out of the changing room. I still remember people talking about it, like where I saw the swimming pool and I saw all the adults jumping into the pool, and I thought, if they can jump into the pool, why not? And knowing that, like my mom's plan was just to make sure that I am being put into the baby pool. And even there, she wanted to, take care of me, because I haven't experienced it before. What I did was I went and I jumped into the, deep end, while all the other adults also, jumped in the pool. And what happens? Definitely, I drowned. So the thing is, the funny thing is the style of drowning. Like I've watched movies, and I've watched Discovery, to all those documentaries. So I've seen how people swim. So I was dying, but then I didn't. I wanted to survive. So I was somehow kicking and using my hands, and I ended up moving. So the people around the pool thought that I'm swimming,
Oh.
right? And people had thought, oh my gosh, she's like 3 years and she's swimming so fast. And, everyone started applauding. Whereas my mother comes running and saying that, she can't swim. So I was taken out, and obviously I was almost dead. But later on, again, because everyone's watching me, I have told, can you put me back to the pool so I can hold that thingy and start kicking, so people will not think that I was drowning, because I was feeling so awkward. So I think it all sums up to a very too confident personality, wants to try out things, and doesn't want to give up as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the listeners can actually take something from that, in the sense that sometimes it's okay to not really be an expert at something, but just to have that courage and go and try it. But I mean, like, just an extension of that question. Now, you talked about being an introvert at school and somehow finding yourself being an extrovert, and when you had to communicate with people, and when you had to be a public speaker as well. So I just want to know how that transition was like, from becoming an introvert to going to an extrovert, and how was it challenging? Because I know a lot of young people today, many of them are introverts, and they have this challenge as to, like, the people really, the conversations that I have with people, they fear talking to people, they fear communication, they fear public speaking. So in the sense, for you, how was that transition like? And I mean, if you could just share some light on that, it would be really nice.
Definitely, Arfan. Like before moving to that question, maybe I want to touch upon something that you mentioned. You said that looking at that, like, like you don't have to be an expert to, start it.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant, brilliant line. Because I really believe it. You don't have to be perfect to start. You don't have to be you don't have to be an expert to start. But something that I want you to believe, even through my story, what you can understand is, but it's always good to do some analysis and understanding, and then jump into the waters, because in case if there weren't someone to save me that day, I might have been drowned. But then the good thing is that it's always good to explore, because those are going to be memories in your life. Because when it comes to positive thinking, I always love saying that there's nothing impossible if you really want to succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe in it, Arfan?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. So a lot of people think that when we say there's nothing impossible if you really want to do it, a lot of people think that, it's like, they think that we say it for the sake of saying. And when they start doing it, they realize how hard it is, and they keep on saying like, okay, I think because they did it that they are saying it. But one quick story I want to share with you is like, if you want to climb a mountain, imagine you climb the mountain and you want to fly, right? And then you say there's nothing impossible. If I want to fly, I can fly. And if you jump off that mountain with that courage and the confidence and the belief in you, definitely you'll fly. That is how you'll go and knock your head on the ground and you'll fly to heaven, right? And now that doesn't mean that even if you want, you can't fly. But if you go onto the top of the mountain and tell that you want to fly and there isn't anything, nothing's impossible, but you figure out ways how to fly, right? You can either go in an airplane, you can go in a helicopter, you can do skydiving, and you can even get all the tools and the equipment that you can use, and you can jump off that mountain with guidance. And no one in this world can just do it without guidance. Sometimes you need practice. Sometimes you need a lot of dedication. And skydiving is not easy. You have to find ways to, yeah, you have to find ways to be courageous, confident, come out of that. So that is where we have to say there isn't there's nothing impossible. But to do that, the impossible, there's so much of investment of time, knowledge, experience, hard work, commitment, belief, so many things. So that's what I want most of you who's watching right here, from Arfan to every single soul, listening to us or watching us, to understand. So if you have a dream or a goal or a target, you can achieve it, but it takes time. But again, if you want to do it fast, you can do it fast. But what matters is how much of time you're planning to invest in. So with that, I would like to cross over to the question you asked about introvert and extrovert, right? So see, the reality is we really need to listen to our hearts and figure out who we really are. Because most of us, we really forget to ask, who do we really want to be? Who are we? Who is Bernadine? Who is Arfan? Like, who am I? Like, truly, who am I? But what happens is we define ourselves according to our society. We define ourselves according to Google, according to social media, according to what society wants. But we don't, sometimes we forget to give some time to realize who we are, what do we want to do, and why are we born, what is the purpose of our life. So when we do that, we will really figure out whether we are an extrovert or an introvert, right? I've had this discussion with so many people. A lot of extroverts we think are not extroverts. Well, I had a very good friend. Anyone who sees him, will say that he's an extrovert. But the reality is, he is an extrovert according to his work, but he's an introvert. Like, I've met so many. Good example, me. Yes, I am. I love people. I love people. I love talking to them. But there are moments where you have your introvert, particular area. So first of all, you need to understand that. And then even if you're a complete introvert, right? Complete introvert, like you don't want to talk to people, you don't want to go in front of an audience. Again, what we need to understand is, according to your target and goal in your life, do you need to be an extrovert? And if that is needed for work, we have to find ways to come out of that and be an extrovert for your work. And that doesn't mean you have to change your whole qualities and change your habits and extremely be an extrovert. You can't do that. That means you're changing your life to match the society, and I don't want that to happen, right? Maybe during the course of the day, I'll give you tips. Only thing is, how to be an extrovert. It's about practice. It's about trying. It's not going to be easy. I can tell, trust me, practice and do it. And definitely, while you'll be like, it's easy for you to say, but it's hard for us to do. And that happened to me, right? One of the university students, while I was doing a lecture, I used to tell, just trust me, believe me, come and do a speech. And, he, in a nice way, he used to tell me, Miss, you tell, but we have to do it, right? So it's easy for me to say and just go away. But when you're doing it, you're the one who's going to face the humiliation. You're the one who's going to, face all those tough times. So quick tips would be analyze yourself, discover your personality. There's this type 16 personalities on Google. There's a free test. You figure out what kind of a personality you are. And then to be an extrovert, it's all about experience and practice. So go out, go first start with your friends and loved ones, have a mentor, and keep working on it. You will do it, because I remember at a particular. Okay, I'll be very honest. I'm being too honest on this platform today. I think only around 100 people know this story who were there, but I don't know whether they will remember whether that it was me, right? Because I used to look a little bit different those days. So, but she was idol. Like how I won Achievers Idol. I got marks from, I kind of got the best marks for business personality, for all the other competitions. But to be the Achievers Idol, you have to get the highest marks from business personality to business presentations, your exam marks to your questions. And again, you have to get the best marks for talent. And now talent is all about singing or dancing or something. Now I can't sing at all. Right, so my friends and the management, they convinced me that I participate, and they said, you can win this, but even though you can't sing, at least you get to top 100 or 50 or something, so you can just do something and figure out, so you can go for finals. And I remember, like, I had to sing, and I was so shy, I was so scared, I was scared what people will think. I asked whether the audience can go out. So it's only me and the judges, right? And actually, my friends made them go out. I remember that.
Oh my
So,
God.
so imagine that shy I was at that point. So it's all situational, and people will be like that. So you might be the worst right now. You might be the shy person. You might be the worst speaker. You might be the worst employee. You might be the worst AIESECer, or you might be the worst citizen a country or a world could even think of. But you can be the best tomorrow if you start working on it. So that's something I believe.
Yeah, truly, like I would, I don't think I could like say it in any other way. As you said, like it's always important to have a vision. It's always important to dream about something, but it's about the result of you achieving that dream is the effort and the hard work you put into it. So I think, yes, totally 100%. I agree with everything you said. And that was a very interesting way to start the podcast. All right. So Bernadine, you talked about Achievers Idol, so I was going to come into this. So you won Achievers Idol, and you've become one of the most distinguished Toastmasters in the world, and also in the country. And you're very renowned as a communicator, as a person who has like become a trendsetter in that area. So what I want to know is like, how was that journey in terms of coming to that place? Because in your school day, you said that you were a you were an introvert, but you were a confident, shy girl, and coming to that stage, coming to that platform where you had to win Achievers Idol, JCI World Public Speaking Championship, so all of these things, and the acclaim that you have brought to yourself as a communicator, how did you identify that path? How were you able to master it, and what has your career led up to this point? I want to know a bit about those details as well.
Thank you for your kind words. I think I'm a person who doesn't take the titles or the achievements to my head, because but like when I achieve something or receive something, I always ask myself, how can I give back to the society and the people around me? Because I believe that we receive for a reason, and that's to support, motivate, and rise together. So I think that's one reason which I think that habit pushed me to this career. So I think my habits and the things I used to do, may, like, at the end of the day, it became my profession, like lecturing to teaching to corporate training to everything. And I love speaking. You can see that I talk a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, so I think that kind of pushed into the industry as well. So to answer your question, See, a girl with a lot of dreams. How did I evolve to the person who am I today? I would say I believed in myself and kept going, even when everyone said that it's not possible. I wanted to keep trying because it's not easy. Everyone has their own battles to conquer, and you need to. What I believe is you need to keep going. And at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, who do you really want to be, and keep working hard on those. So you were talking about few titles, right? And I would
Mhm.
say none of those things were achieved easily. And one thing in my life I would say is that uh, you know I had never got anything in my life easily, right?
Mhm.
I had never got anything easily. And it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of compromising. And I think so much of I think I have invested so much of time, and I have learned a lot of things from people. And I'm glad that a lot of people believed in me, supported me, and encouraged me. And with that, I want to tell you one thing. The words we speak, or the words you use, words you say, has a lot of power to depress someone, to
Mhm.
put someone down, and to destroy someone. Similarly, the words you speak, the words you say, the words you put out has so much of power to encourage someone, to motivate someone, to persuade someone, and change their lives. So I believe that we need to use words in a way that we can do something amazing to people, that motivate people and change their lives. So that I think that's a responsibility of each and every one of us. Because I told you that we're born for a reason, and that
Mhm.
reason should be something that we do something great for others, so all of us can live in a better world. So, how I conquered would be, I would say, definitely not letting go, definitely not giving up. Because I remember I started with six chairs. Okay, I have so many stories, right? I know it's very funny.
Mhm.
Like when I go somewhere, someone asks, "What do you do?" Right? What's your profession? Right? Randomly, you meet someone from another country or somewhere. So I look at them and I think, which profession should I tell? So because I can't be reading a bio data there, and so I kind of change from person to person. So in case sometimes I say I'm a lecturer, another person I
Mhm.
would say a corporate trainer, for another person I would say I'm from media. So it changes. So I like, again, if we dive into the industries, I have stories from all those areas. I think I have a lot of stories. I'm not going to like give you a hard time, Arfan. So any particular like side you want to talk about, then I
Okay.
can.
All right. So I would love to know about how public speaking kind of came into the thing, because I think a lot of young people now, they find themselves like doing a lot of public speaking here and they're becoming communicators. So I think that would be a good one.
Definitely. So I think all my industries boil down to public speaking as well, because there's one focus like everything. So public
Mhm.
speaking, again, I would say I honestly never thought that I'm going to go from that side, right? It's something that I like talking, right? And then and then I think because of that one, again, the other thing is, sometimes in something like presentations and all, I tend to help people. And then sometimes when someone gets scared, I had to do it. So different ways that I've been put into. But one thing I would say, to be very honest with you, I won't say that I was the most confident person at the beginning. I was so scared even to make a PowerPoint presentation. I still remember my first proper presentation was again at Achievers Idol. I won't say when, because then you'll get to know my age. So that was my first proper business presentation, right? And you won't believe like how nervous I was to figure out how to put a presentation together, and how to easy to read the slides, or to improvise, or easy to elaborate on points. So many things. But Very long story short, I want to tell you, there might be reasons. There might be. You have to first of all ask yourself if you're scared, why. So I'll come to that. I'll quickly share my story. Maybe media story will go in line with what public speaking.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, because public speaking, I want you to understand, don't think that you're going to deliver a speech. I want you to always speak your heart out. It's not about the dramatic movements. It's not about, imitating someone. I would love, even my students at my academy, to the university students, to, or anyone I meet when I do training, I always say, bring the authentic you, bring your authentic self out, because the world needs you. We don't want another person, right? Certain movements, also public speaking, even though it's internationally not accepted, certain body language, again, we cannot say no, because sometimes certain body language, like people use, can be the most attractive part of that particular person to the society. So the ways that certain people use their hands, the ways that someone look, those can be the attractive ways of, attracting the audience. So it's a different ball game when it comes to public speaking. But one thing I
Mhm.
want to tell is, forget about everything and speak from your heart, and keep, developing yourself. So my story, media, I would say, I would happily, proudly say that I was one of the worst news anchors in Sri Lanka, right? If you if you switched on the TV and you saw me, or like when I used to read my first bulletins, you might be like, where's the remote, I need to change the channel, right? So the reason is, I'm a very people person, right? I would love to smile with anyone I meet in my life, right? Even that is a stranger, whether it's a person who's cleaning the toilet, or whether it's a person who is sweeping the like, the whole lobby area or whatever, or mopping the lobby area, or it's a person who is a CEO or the president of the country. I would love to, smile and talk, and I like networking, but I was not the person to smile with a camera, right? Just imagine you're in just a studio, and there's a camera right in front of you, and you have to smile with an equipment, right? That was not me. I was like, no, I can't be talking to this equipment. I can't be talking to this. It feels weird. But so I had a very fake smile. So like how I started finished. So I used to get messages saying like, "You, like, what kind of a fake smile is that?" Right? And secondly, I was a bit nervous. I was nervous whether I'll be able to read it right, pronounce it right, because it's live. So then I used to enlarge my eyes and look, read it like this. So I had a little bit of problems. That's because I was scared. And I remember how a lot of people used to laugh at me. I still remember how a particular person came to me and said, Bernadine, why don't you just resign? Right? Like, why don't you write your own letter and give it a walk off? Right. So I was thinking for a moment, yeah, that's also true. But then I thought, why not wait till I get fired? Why should I ask for my own, like, give my own resignation and run away? This was an opportunity that I always wanted to explore. So I thought, okay, why not? I'll wait till I maybe they fire me and tell me to get out. So and there was another moment where actually I actually went to a particular person and said, uh, "Can you teach me how to read news?" And he's an amazing person. He told me, "Do what you're doing, keep learning and have your own style. You don't have to
Mhm.
learn, you practice." So I think that was amazing advice, because I think it helped me not to imitate anyone. So another area would be, even though I was worse, when certain people were very supportive, and when certain people used to laugh at me and make fun out of me without helping me. Right? I believe that a person sometimes make mistakes is because that person doesn't know or doesn't have experience, like what you're facing, like whoever who's watching, if you're facing a problem of making mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, grammar mistakes, don't worry. You're making mistakes because you don't know.
Mhm.
Accept the fact that you don't know, right? But make sure that you don't repeat the same mistake again. And don't accept that you're not good and sit down and wait. And then it's your problem. You need to get up and find ways to work on yourself. So that's when I told myself, okay, I better work on myself, because because at that time also I was lecturing and I was a corporate trainer, and I was, developing my little academy. I thought I should not quit because it will not be good on, because I should walk the talk, because I tell people
Mm-hmm.
not to give up. And I can't be giving up. I was like,
Yeah.
no, yeah. And then after that, it was 3 months of tough time, and I worked hard. And I remember I got the chance to read primetime news on 30th December on that particular year. And then, I was so happy that they just asked me, would you like to read primetime news? I jumped off and I was like, and I think my whole team was like, no way. I think she kind of messed up 55, it's not prime time. And, uh, and then I remember giving a call to my mother, all excited. And I was like, Amma, you know what? I'm selected for primetime news and 30th December and all sorts of, excitement. And she was very happy for me. But what she said was, that's great. And she told it in Sinhala though, like she was like she's happy. And then she was like, there are things that people can do, and there are things that people take time to do. So do you have to do this? That's what her reaction was.
Mm-hmm.
What it meant was she didn't want me to do it because she was scared that I'll mess it up and I'll be
Oh,
fired.
wow.
So, yeah, she was like, keep what you have and don't jump into something too fast, because she was like, it's 30th December and you're moving into a new year, and if you mess it up, she was quite worried that I'll be very upset on the last one, like even though it was a
Mm-hmm.
third year, I'll mess up the whole year. So I kind of thought, I just checked my phone again to double check whether I really called my mom or not, and then I switched off the phone. And then when she came to pick me, again I thought, and I told my mother, Amma, it's 30th December. If I mess it up, I have 31st to eat. I'll eat, I'll watch a movie, I'll relax, I'll be sad, and I'll think of another industry to work on myself in, because
Mm-hmm.
it will be done and dusted with my past year. See, I think I know, I might, I mean, like all these motivation stories, you might be thinking, oh my god, just trust me, we are all humans. I've been like you, you've been like me, right? The only difference is, if we start believing and accepting that we're humans and take things seriously when it's needed, and you need to chill at moments where you need to chill, and when you lose, you need to laugh at yourself and cry a little bit
Exactly.
and see how you can work on yourself. I think that's how I did it. And then even though I accepted that task, later on I figured out, oh no, it's live, 9 o'clock, everyone's watching. And I remember I walked up to one person, she's such an amazing soul. I told her, I don't know, I just said yes, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. And she said, just don't worry, it's just one day, 30 minutes, and you're not going to be on air for all 30 minutes. It's just few minutes, right? So you do your best. And then I told myself, from my childhood, I worked really hard, to be honest. And
Mm-hmm.
my whole life journey, I think it was me and my mom working hard towards goals, falling down, getting up, learning, understanding. I believe in values. I believe in hard work. I know people say smart work. Yes, even to be smart, you need to work hard at point, right? So with all those, I told myself, okay, the most important, I would say, the thing that changed my life would be confidence, right? Confidence will change your life drastically. I told myself, all right, this is what I can do, and this is how I can do. Like, see, if you're capable up to a certain extent, go present it. You can't be waiting till you become perfect. Perfection will never come. You
Mm-hmm.
do it. And if you feel you're dumb, if you feel you're stupid, if you feel you're not great, that's the truth. That means you're stupid, dumb, and not great. But that doesn't mean you need to stop. You do it, and next time you do become better. So with time, you become even better. So then you turn back and you can even say, okay, I was dumb, but now I'm better, right?
Yeah,
So
totally.
yeah, yeah, because even if you speak to the best actors, actresses in the world, top entrepreneurs, presidents of countries, everyone had a beginning. Everyone had their own mistakes. Everyone had messed up in style at a point, right? That we need to understand and live our life. So I remember how I started. I was like, my heart was beating that day. I really understood I have a big heart. So and I was honestly worried because you have your mic, you have your mic clipped here, right? So
Mhm.
I was quite worried whether more than my words, whether the audience will hear the noise of my heart.
The heartbeat.
I was honestly like quite worried about it. But yeah, I think, yeah. So I told myself, even if the cameraman faints and falls, even if a bulb doesn't, switch on or burst, I don't care. I'm doing my job right. And I'm going to be
Mhm.
very confident, and I'm going to do what I can do, and I will give my best because I'm not doing anything wrong to anyone. I'm not cutting anyone. I just have a passion. I just like to do it. I like to succeed. And that's a genuine thought. I think that really changed my life. And you won't believe, I think Raigam Tilly's, with my first primetime news clip, I was able to be selected as top three best English news anchors with my first news clip.
Wonderful.
And I didn't have any other clips to put. It was just two news clips I had. And that was a turning curve, the turning point in my life. And then I thought, okay, I mean, if I can put more effort and if I keep working hard, and I can do something great. So then next year, within 1.5 years, that I would say, I was able to be the best English news anchor in Sri Lanka at Ragam Teddy's. And I still remember a lot of people used to say a news anchor can't be a great TV presenter because news anchors are very serious and presenters are quite casual and different style. So, because I was into the academics and I was into so much of lecturing and all, I thought I want to do always. I make sure whatever the programs I do is something beneficial for the audience. So that's when I started my own program, Business Bureau. That
Mhm.
way, I interviewed top business personalities and chairmen. We did more than 70 episodes, and yeah, from that I was able to win the best English TV presenter at Ragam Tellies and become the first and the only President's Awardee as English TV personality in Sri Lanka. And why I am saying this, as I told you before, these metal pieces never gets into my head because I believe that, I mean, we've been for a reason. That is to give back. And one thing
Mhm.
that I believe is, I mean, something my mother told, right? When I used to play table tennis, I'll relate it here. Is that I always wanted to win, right? But then she used to tell that. You can't be like she used to. So I used to go and tell my mother, Amma, can you pray to God that I
Mhm.
win, right? And then she
Okay.
asked, yeah, then she was like, okay, there were around 100 kids. And then she asked me, how many kids are there? And I told a number. And then she asked, from how many religions are they from? I said, I don't know, maybe three or four. I don't know how many. And then she said, imagine if there are four religions, uh, like how many kids will fall under one God? So which child should the God favor?
Mhm.
So I was so annoyed. I thought that I'll go directly talk to God and tell her, like, tell God, uh, help me win this. I need to win this, right? So that was me some time ago. But then she used to, tell me, she used to always tell me, if you lose, right? If you lose, don't be that person who goes and congratulates that person with a smiley face, but inside your heart thinking that I owe in vain, I lost it. Next time I'll beat you, or like, you are the greatest or whatever. She said, if you want to do that, don't congratulate, because when you win, you'll also have people who just comes with so much of jealousy just to say congratulations. Don't be a fake person. Either you go congratulate from the heart, bottom of your heart, and say congratulations, and always make sure when a person win, right? You look at that person thinking that another mother's dream has come true, right? And the other thing is that another person who always wanted to win and worked hard and wished had won. And then learn from that person, work hard, and continuously work, even get support from them. And then your time will come. The best, the most deserved person will win. I think that really helped me to feel content and happy in life, right? And then when I win, she used to tell me, always look at the other person in a way how you can help that person, because there are some more people waiting, like how you waited before. So that really helped me. I think that really helped me in my life, like when it comes to public speaking, to anything. So just to sum up the question you asked, I was one of the worst, but it really helped me to become the best. And when you are the worst, you will have a story to share when you become the best. So if you're going through a tough time, don't worry, work on it, right? Your time will come.
Wonderful. I can't just explain like how I'm like while I'm listening to you, I'm also feeling super motivated. And I think I while you were speaking, I was just having a quick reflection on some of the things I'm working on now, and like I feel like it's not working out. Maybe I should try something else. But I feel like no, I wish I should try doing it, but maybe from a different perspective. Okay. So Verdi, next I wanna like take it a bit light in terms of the serious conversation that we're having, and we can go into a rapid fire question, just for the audience and for the listeners to just know you a bit more better. Okay, so the first question is, if you could spend a day in someone else's shoe, who would they be and why? It could just be just any random person.
Maybe if I can, if God allows me to, God, just see how the world works and to get a bigger picture of the truth and the reality.
Wow. I don't think I've heard that answer ever. To be in God's shoes.
Yeah, because we have different perceptions, and sometimes we're getting a very like a different view, but then up there you can get like a complete view, and yeah, that would be great.
I think the best part would be to just listen to what God listens. I mean, to everyone who's praying to Him. My God, that would be something else. Okay, what's the first career you dreamed of having as a kid?
Uh, as a kid, I think if I'm to be honest, I would say I didn't have a particular name under that career. I would say I always had this thought of, I wanted to be successful. So so that successful, the success, what I saw was to have my own company. So I would say entrepreneur, but I didn't know the meaning of an entrepreneur sometimes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have my own company, and then later with time for fun, like I always wanted to like read news also.
Wow. So, I think that's really good to have your career. Like, I'm not essentially the specific way that you would like to have it, but like know from the childhood perspective that you want to be something. All right. So, if you could win an Olympic medal for any sport, real or fake, what would it be? So, just any sport.
Definitely fake, I would say. uh, the answer would be I don't know whether they have ice skating. Do they have? I'm not sure. But if they
I'm
do,
not sure.
I am not sure if they do the skating, the thingy, the ice skating. I would like to do that because I love the Princess movie final song, but I don't know what you call that. I think that was also some Olympic something. So I like that movie song, so I would like to win that.
Well, all right. So if you had just won $1 million, what would you buy?
$1 million. If I
Yes.
win it by working for it and working hard, then definitely I'll have few things to buy. I like telling after I do it. So maybe if I get it and if I buy, I'll let you know. So, but
Okay.
Yeah, but if I win it through a lottery or like luck, I would like to do something for children who need it the most, because something sustainable and useful for them. Because I have a bit of a certain policy, I would say principle. Like sometimes the money I get through luck or like kind of things, I don't use it for my own
Mhm.
things I like to buy for myself.
All right, that's a very nice policy. All right, so if you had access to a time machine, where and when would you go?
I would definitely travel the world, beaches, waterfalls, road trips with beautiful souls.
Wonderful. All right, so this question is purely because I know you love sports. So netball or basketball?
I was a netball captain in school, but yes, I love basketball.
So this would be the final rapid fire question. So I want to know, like, what does success mean to you?
Happiness is success to me, and being content.
Yeah. So one of the points that I really catched up on the previous conversation was, it's okay that when you win, uh, you have to celebrate and you have to enjoy. But even when you lose, it doesn't mean that you completely silence yourself from the world, and it doesn't mean that you um, like take a moment back and you just pretend that like you completely become sad and you sob away. So with that, what I want to know is something. This is a part that I couldn't really touch up on the first half, but I want to know now. So, Bernadine, in terms of now, with everything that you're doing and with the plans that you have at the moment, what kind of future do you like? Have you planned out for yourself, and what are your goals for the future, and what kind of things that you want to achieve at the moment right now?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Arfan. But then okay, future, yes, I definitely have plans and goals. And I normally have like short term and long term goals, which I work for. And something I want to tell you, sometimes with time, things change as well, right?
Mhm.
I will let you know in future what was my future goals now. Because I have a habit. If you even talk to some of my friends, when I was 18, no one knew the work I do, because I tend to keep it because I like doing, trying, analyzing, experiencing, and doing it and then talking.
Mhm.
Because sometimes, even though if we tell it right now, like with the analysis and the goals and things, it keeps changing, right? But if I'm to because you asked me that, I would say in a very simple way, I love motivating people. So anything to do with motivating people, anything to do to transform other people, anything to see the growth of other people and working towards it would be my future goal for sure. In depth, I'll after I do it, let's have a chat about it in the next podcast.
Maybe we can like have it going for the next season.
Definitely.
All right. Bernardine, like I think that point exactly. I actually had it was a bit nostalgic because whenever I used to do something, my dad especially would used to tell me like, Arfan, like, don't tell me now, get it done and then tell me. So I started developing that habit of not telling people things, even my parents, like not telling them things about what I want to achieve, but I'll just do it and I'll tell them, yeah, this is what I
And
did. I understand like from which background and from what perspective you're talking about. All right. So, Wendy, since we had a limit of time here, I'm going to ask this question really quickly, and I think this part I want to like speak less, and I want to give you the opportunity to speak more. Being a prominent TV personality, a leading news anchor, entrepreneur, and a corporate trainer, and you have risen up the ladder of life itself with your strengths, with your bravery, with your confidence, and just that belief of just doing things and doing it right. And I think there's just many things young people in our country can learn from you. And if we are to conclude this podcast, I want to like know exactly what kind of message you would want to give the young people who are listening right now about just a general message from you. I don't even want to like tell you, please speak about this, but something that you probably want to say to the young people who are listening right now as a final message.
sure. So we were talking a lot about communication and public speaking as well, right? So maybe I want to, or maybe you might be having a goal right now, or maybe you're looking at a particular person and maybe thinking that you want to be that, you want to be like that, or maybe internally you might be thinking that you want to be happy, that you want to be successful and achieve in life. I want you to ask yourself, who do you really want to be? Why do you want to be that person? And when do you want to be that person? Because I want you to discover yourself, because you need to discover yourself first to discover your passion. When you discover that, you'll be able to discover the world. And then I want you to do a SWOT analysis for yourself and ask yourself, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are the threats there for you? And if you're scared to go speak, when it comes to communication, presenting, or maybe to voice your thoughts, or maybe present an idea that you have, or you want to pursue a new career or maybe a business, ask yourself, why are you scared? Why are you nervous? What's holding you back from doing that? And I want you to figure out the real root cause for it and figure out ways how you can overcome it. For that, you can have a good lecturer, a mentor, or a friend, or a trustworthy person that you can really openly speak of, and figure out ways that you can come out of that, and come out of those barriers. And then I want you to always remember the equation: effective communication equals productive relationship. Because if you effectively communicate, you will surely have a productive relationship. And next up is that you need to be confident, because first you need to start to go anywhere. So start with what you have. Don't wait till perfection comes to you or perfection happens. So be confident and start, and let people think whatever they want to think of you, or judge you, or say things about you. Because as long as you are doing the right thing, as long as you're doing what you love and love what you do, and as long as you're so passionate about and genuine and you're not hurting anyone, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't repeat the same mistake, but keep working hard. Because I believe that you need to love yourself first. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter what your features look like. It doesn't matter from which family background you come from. It doesn't matter whether you're wealthy or not. It doesn't matter what color you are, what caste you're from. What matters is the values, how much of an impact that you want to make to your life and others. And just be human, just feel comfortable, because we are here for only few years. And the number of years we live, make sure that your story becomes an inspirational one to many. That's something I believe. And another one thing I want to tell you is, not everyone can win every day, and not everyone can be happy every day, right? I'm talking from my heart, right? I'm talking about myself. I mean, I can't win every day, and I can't be happy every day, because I don't know what I'm going to face tomorrow. And stop comparing, stop being jealous for other people. And I found a formula to be happy and successful every day. And Arfan, do you want to know the formula?
Yes, yes, yes.
So the formula is, if you can look at someone else's success and feel successful, and if you can look at someone else's happiness and be happy for them, I think you can be happy and successful every day, and you will feel so content when you go to sleep.
Wonderful. Okay, just to like recap this entire podcast, I don't think from any other podcast I've felt this positive coming into the end. So what I want to like just recap to the entire audience is, Bernadine talked on some very important topics, which I essentially feel is something that as young people, it needs a lot of it needs a lot of conversation, and it needs a lot of focus on. It's on just being confident about what you want to achieve, and it's just about being understanding of where you are right now and what kind of effort you need to put into yourself to achieve what you want to achieve. Most importantly, it's about loving yourself. It's about understanding that there are going to be there's going to be the highs, and you're going to have your lows, but it's totally fine to just take a moment and understand that maybe things are happening for a reason, and you are where you are right now because you are aligned, or you actually put in place to achieve something much bigger. And I want to thank Miss Bernadine for giving this. I don't know, like for me as a listener right now, I've felt really inspired, and I've been moving. I've been moved by the words you've said, and just like I want to really thank you, because I think a lot of young people nowadays, like I think with COVID-19 and with digitization taking place, this is an advantage for people to just like listen to these conversations and just be inspired and just be moved by everything that's happening. So I really want to thank you for being a part of this podcast, and just for your contribution towards AIESEC itself. Like, you've always been a part of the events that we've been doing at AIESEC Sri Lanka. So thank you very much for that. And as we go on, we would love to just see your success story like take off, and just be proud of the kind of achievements that you're doing, and like be a part of those initiatives as well, and also have you going with us as we as AIESEC also move on to different places. Thank you very much for being a part of this with us today. We loved having you.
Thank you very much, Arfan. A very big thank you to AIESEC Sri Lanka. You all are doing some amazing work, creating platforms to share their stories, and especially to inspire more and to, inspire them to become great leaders and communicators and become successful. And Arfan, you did a fantastic job. I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy how you hosted the whole program. And keep flying high. And to the viewers, keep smiling, keep flying high, and keep supporting everyone. So all of us can conquer together. So start developing yourself, because when you develop, your home starts developing and your university starts developing. And when your home and your university starts developing, the whole industry starts developing. And when the industry starts developing, the whole nation starts developing. And when the nation starts developing, the whole world starts developing. And all of us will be able to live in a developed world. So keep conquering, keep smiling, and keep flying high.
Wonderful. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys took everything, every ounce of that motivation or that courage and that conversation. And I hope that you actually like look at your decisions right now and understand like where you are. And I hope you're able to push yourself towards the goals that you want to achieve, and you don't really look back on those things. As always, it's been a pleasure to host this program, and we're going to be bringing some more interesting guests, and some more different kinds of topics will be touched upon as we go on with the podcast. If you have been following us so far, thank you very much, and just stay tuned and stay updated with our page and with everything that we've been doing. And yes, see you in the next one.